Hey, what's up? It's Liam Davis here, and in this video, I want to ask a very specific question about success, and that is, if success leaves clues, is this the biggest clue of all? Now, I came across this the other day. I was listening to a podcast, and all of this just hit me in 1 second, and I thought, wow, a light bulb went off over my head. I was like, this is it. This is the secret, or at least I think so. So let me know what you think, okay? I realized that I learned this years ago, but it didn't hit me until just recently, okay? So let's go back to 2010. 2010, I first got online into internet marketing after about a year of struggling trying to build my nutrition company offline. It just wasn't working for me. I knew I had to find something different, so I found the internet. And I was tinkering around looking for ways that I can build my business online. And that's when I ran into a guy named Mark Herberson. Now, if you've been in online marketing for any amount of time, it's possible that you know who Mark is, and if not, he's an incredible dude. He's an incredible marketer and just a really cool guy, right? So at the time, Mark was putting out training course after training course after training course, and after seeing some of his stuff, I decided this was the guy that I wanted to learn from. So one day, I'm sitting on one of his webinars. I believe it was probably a live webinar. If not, it was just a live recording or whatever. But I was sitting on his webinar and he was telling his story. And he was talking about he first got started in his business when he was living in a trailer. Now, I can't, not that it matters, I can't remember if it was a double wide trailer, like a luxury trailer or just a regular trailer, but he was living in a trailer with his wife, who was pregnant at the time. And I believe they also had I think they had one or two children as well. So this was at the lowest point in his life. He was living in a trailer. His wife was pregnant. He already had one or two kids, and he had to do something in order to get himself out of that situation and into a new one. So in this webinar, in this video, Mark was talking about how all the work that he did and all the different things that he was doing to build his business, and how he got from where he was to, at the time, I think he was a seven-figure earner, and he's now an eight-figure earner. So in this video, he started talking about his car. And at the time, I didn't really think much of it. It made me laugh what he said about his car. I think his car was like, Mark, if you ever see this video, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think his car was like a Toyota Corolla, like an old 90s model that was just a beat up piece of shit, falling apart, had dents all over it, rusty paint coming off of the damn thing. And it just sounded like a total just piece of junk, right? And what he said about this car really, it made me laugh, but then it really made me think. And then only recently did I really, really understand what Mark was saying. So moving forward to a little bit earlier this year, I was playing around on my phone, looking through some audios that I have on there. I usually use my iPod. I don't have a lot of audios on my phone, but I found one called "How to Make $1,500 a Day Blogging" with Justin Varengia. Now, this was an interview between David Wood and Justin Varengia, and they were talking about how Justin can take his business to $1,500 a day blogging. And really quickly, I just want to throw out an income disclaimer. Results aren't typical. If you're going to try blogging, it's possible that you won't make $1,500 a day from blogging. But anyway, I'm listening to this audio, and Justin the hippie Jedi, he's kind of a weird dude, right? But in a great way, in a really great way. Actually, he has a podcast called Weird Entrepreneurs. But in this in this audio, Justin was talking about how he got to a point where he went from struggling to just being on the verge of making $1,500 a day. And he makes way more than that right now, but he was talking about what he did to get there. And as soon as I heard him say it, I thought, holy shit, this reminds me of that story that Mark Herberson told all those years ago about his car. And I'm like, wow, there might be something in this. There might be something in this. So because I was listening to this audio between Justin Varengia and Dave Wood, I then decided to check out Justin's podcast. Like I just mentioned, it's called Weird Entrepreneurs, and I'm actually going to link to it below this video. Now, this was one of the funniest podcasts I've ever heard, at the same time as getting like a whole bunch of knowledge, because Dave Wood, he's just a crazy, he's just a crazy dude. And if you listen to that audio, you'll know exactly why I say that. So in this interview, Justin's talking to Dave about how he built his business, how he got to where he is right now, what he did to take him to making, I believe Dave makes over $400,000 every single month at the moment. And again, income disclaimer, the results aren't typical. So I'm listening to this audio, and Justin asked Dave how he made the decision he was going to move to Costa Rica. If you know who Dave Wood is, you'll know the first thing you know is Dave Wood, the second thing you know is long curly hair, third thing you know is he lives in Costa Rica. So Justin asked him, how did you make the decision you're going to move to Costa Rica? And Dave told him that his dream, his goal was to always move somewhere sunny and tropical. Dave grew up in Alaska, so it only makes sense that he wanted to move somewhere the complete opposite. He wanted to live near the beach. He wanted to live somewhere tropical. And he had no idea where he wanted to live, except for the fact that he wanted to live in Central or South America. So instead of doing what most other people did, which is hop online and spend maybe days, weeks, even months researching where to move to, he went to 5 of his friends that he knows had traveled around South and Central America and asked them, where would you recommend? I want to live near the beach. I wanted to, be tropical. This is what I want. And every single one of them, all 5 of them, got back to him and said, Costa Rica. Costa Rica is the place to go. So this is where I'm getting at. This is the point I'm getting to, okay? They told Dave Costa Rica. Dave didn't hop online and start researching Costa Rica and areas that he wanted to move to. As soon as he reached the income goal that he wanted to reach, which is $30,000 a month, he packed his bags. Him and his wife, they just flew to Costa Rica. He didn't research it. He didn't do any, background or anything. He just went there. And then he said, the reason I didn't research it, the reason I didn't research Costa Rica before I moved there was I was too busy building my business. And that really hit me. I thought it was, for one second, I thought it was odd that you would move to a completely different country without even researching it first. But then it really hit me that he was so busy, he was so focused on building his business that nothing else mattered. And that's when I drifted back. I started thinking about that Justin Varengia audio. And Justin, again, he's the hippie Jedi. He's kind of a weird dude, and he was talking about the fact that he doesn't necessarily believe in time. He doesn't believe in time frames. He believes in crunching time. And he was talking about what he had done up until that point to get where he was at, which was, he said, his work schedule. Every single day, he would make a list of the things that he needs to do that day, and he would either work until that list was completely crossed off, or he passed out at his computer. And again, this is when, just hearing him say that is what took me back all the way back to when I first watched that video with Mark Herberson. In this video, Mark Herberson was talking about how he built his business, how he got to 7 figures, how he went from living in a trailer with his wife and his children to just really dramatically changing their situation. And now he's an 8-figure earner, does incredible things online, and he's just a top marketer in the industry. And this is what he said about his car. The old piece of shit Toyota Corolla, I think it was. If it wasn't, you get the idea. Just beat up, just dents, just paint coming off of it, rusty, all that shit. And what he said was, he didn't replace that car until well over making $1 million in his business. And again, at the time, I thought that was really odd. Like, why wouldn't you have bought a car earlier? But then, just recently, it really hit me that he didn't go out. He didn't bother going and get a car. He had a car that worked. It didn't matter. He was so focused on his goal. He was so focused on his vision. He was so focused on building an empire that he didn't care. He didn't stop to look around. He had his blinders on. He didn't give a shit about getting a new car. He didn't care about any of that stuff. He was just focused on his business, and he wasn't going to stop until he got to where he was going. So this all hit me the other day as I was listening to the Weird Entrepreneurs podcast, which again, I'll link through below because I recommend anyone that can stand a few swear words go and listen to it. But that is what really hit me after listening to it, is that if in order to really succeed, no matter if you're building a business online, offline, if you're not even building a business, but there's a goal that you want to hit, the way to get there is to put the blinders on, to focus, and just ignore everything else until you're reaching your goal and until you're standing in it, until you're living it. Okay, so I really hope you understood what I just said then, because what I just shared with you is really, really powerful if you decide to use it in your business. Just decide what you want, focus on it, and go after it. Don't stop to look around until you get there. Okay, so this has been video 1 of a video challenge I'm starting today called the 172-hour challenge. So if you like this video, go ahead and like it, leave a comment below, go and check out my blog if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'll see you again very shortly in another video, because I have, what is it, 99 more to go. So I'll see you in another video, okay? Bye.